let's start with some of the free book pickups. These were all from a supermarket. These ones were all from Morrison's, local Morrison's. Yeah, so they have a little stall, very small one, but a few shelves of books, magazines, little pots from change in to donate. I can't remember what the charity's for. In fact, I didn't even look for what the charity was for. Put the money in, didn't even look what the charity's for. I'm sure it's a good cause. Next time I'll make a point of looking, because I do kind of want to know what charity it's for. But you know, I'm sure it's unlikely to be anything bad. It's not going to be like, I don't know, the charity for slapping people's faces with fishes or something. I'm sure it's not anything like that. I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, we have this, and this is a blast from the past for sure. I never watched Dynasty. It's not really my thing from what I know about it. It's all about rivalries, all that kind of thing within the Dynasty, I guess. And but yeah, if you do like it, I know it's very iconic with Joan Collins being one of the leads. The book is in quite nice condition. I thought that'd be a nice one to add to my shop to sell, as it's a TV themed book. I like to get any TV themed books, always find them interesting. I also found Lee Child the Visitor. Now, this is a bit more of a rarer cover, this one. So this is, the Visitor is number 4, I believe, in the Jack Reacher series. It was a long time ago when I read this. It came out in like 2000. I didn't start reading Jack Reacher till I think 2010, and then I sort of went back and read them. But I probably read this one in about 2011, something like that. So it's still quite a long time ago when I read it. But if I remember rightly, it was very good. It was a really good one. The story was where Jack Reacher is a wanted man, because basically 2 women have been found murdered. These women were both ex-army, like Jack Reacher, and they knew Jack Reacher, so that's why Jack Reacher is a wanted man. I think they believe he might have something to do with the murders, so that people are after him. If I remember rightly, yes, it was a very good thriller. But yeah, it's a different cover to the one you typically see. I've seen this on, if it's in very good condition, I think you may be able to get more than £10 for it. I saw one going for £100 and it had a lot of interest on eBay, but it was signed by the author, so that's probably why. But yeah, it is the rarer cover, so I'm going to have this one because I don't have this cover, and it's got a little bit of wear on, but it's a nice one to add to my collection. And yeah, I'll read that again, and maybe I'll read that one with that cover soon. Also, this book, don't know much about it, but interesting cover. It's to do with Oxford and things that are happening around Oxford. It's 73 it was first published, although this edition is 75. Yeah, just one different type of book I wanted to add to my shop. I just try and look for different type of books. There's not many of them on eBay. Sort of going for around the £3 to £4 mark in general. And then this book is apparently quite acclaimed. It's called The Shadow of the Wind. I may have vaguely heard of it. I'm not really too sure what it's about. Oh, it's got a quote from Stephen King on it. Shadow is a real deal, a novel full of cheesy splendour and cracking trapdoors, a novel where, I should have brought my glasses, where it's on the subplots, where even the subplots have subplots. In Savron's hands, every scene seems to come from an early Orson Welles movie, one gorgeous read, says Stephen King. The reason why I was also having trouble reading that is because the orange was a bit hard to see, the orange right. Okay, well, I might have a further look into this book and see a bit more about what it's about and give it a read. We'll see what Stephen King is talking about. Now, my last lot of pickup for today is from a library. So in a retail park in Swindon called the Orbital, needed to go there for the Marks and Spencer, needed to get something from there. That's the most local Marks and Spencer we have. And they also have this library, and libraries can be a great place to get cheap books because they sell off the books when they want to put in new books for people to borrow. Now, usually they often charge at 50p each 3 for £1, something like that. I find it's a typical price. I've even seen some charging £1 or £2. It does vary. Sometimes I've seen 20p, but not that often. But the best price I've seen so far is at this library at the Orbital, because they just want 10p a book. But not only that, there are row and row of books. There's a lot of books to choose from. And they also say you can fill a bag for £1, so you could probably get even more than 10 in a bag. Though they don't say what size bag. Is it an IKEA bag or is it a standard shopping bag? I don't know. I didn't ask just because I was coming back on my bike, so I could only take what I could put on my back without giving myself backache. I'm really going to try and invest in a sort of an extra bit of storage for the back of my bike, one of those containers, and then I can take a few more things back, which will be handy. But for now, I felt I could bring 5 back. Most of them were big books as well. That's why I had to limit myself. I will find out how the bag of books works as well. So the 5 I brought back were Wilbur Smith, Desert God. Great book. I have it already, this exact version. Great Egyptian adventure. Wilbur Smith, one of my favourite adventure authors. Yeah, 10p, so it's a bargain. All books 10p or fill a bag for £1. Now I like ex-library books. I'll tell you why. Because they have that reinforced cover, so it helps protect against spills. Although this one didn't. And also this one didn't have any like the library cards or anything, so you wouldn't actually know it was ex-library, this one. So because I'm going to sell it because I've already got it, I don't really need to put it as an ex-library because it's just like a normal book. This one has the library cover and it has like the library books things in, so yeah, the cards, so fair enough. It has a random sticker on there. I don't really know why there's a blank random label on there, but there is. So this is Star Wars, The New Jedi Order, Star by Star, Troy Denning. I read this a long time ago. I really enjoyed it. I enjoy reading all Star Wars books because it's a universe that I just like with Warhammer. The books are usually really well written and they're just enjoyable. And it's obviously a very well defined universe to get into. I read this many years ago in a library. I remember reading it in a library. I have my own copy, so I thought I'd put this one to sell. So you will normally get less trying to sell ex-library books, but you can sell them. Many years ago, I just thought you couldn't sell an ex-library book. Nobody would buy it. I was wrong. People do. You might get slightly less for it, but yeah, you can still sell ex-library books, in case you were wondering. So I also got Under the Dome, Stephen King. So this was one of the first Stephen King books I read. I think it was back in 2010. When did this come out? Oh no, this came out in 2010. I might have read it the year it came out, because I think I read it in the library first, yeah, before I then got a copy, so I could have read it the year it came out, perhaps. I know this is the exact cover I have. A bit different to the usual Stephen King book cover, because it's got like a live action photo. Looks like it's been taken from a movie or something, but there is no movie of Under the Dome, unfortunately. I think there should be. There was a TV series which wasn't great, but it was very entertaining. It had good things, it had a lot of potential, because the book is such a good concept for the TV programme, but the TV programme kept taking things in its own direction, and I think it kind of lost its way and wasn't really sure where to go. But it did have its moments, and with some slight tweaks, it probably could have been really good. But I really liked the book. I really enjoyed it. It's a great concept, very well written. I won't mind reading it again sometime. So I've popped this one on eBay to sell. I do like to sell Stephen King books, and because Stephen King books sell well. And one of Stephen King's very big entries. It's got a lot of pages. It's got 880 pages. It has a barcode on the top, which is rare. And yeah, Daily Mail says high concepts, high octane epic. USA Today says staggeringly addictive. Oh, that word. I was trying to work out what I said yesterday. Whizzing from the cliffhanger, whizzing from one cliffhanger to the next. Daily Telegraph. Yes. Yeah, if you haven't read this, I do recommend it. It was a great concept, which the Simpsons movie also seemed to think was a great concept, but that is a thing for another time. Yeah. And then the last two books from the library, from the 10p section, Harry Turtledove books. Harry Turtledove is probably the best name there is in existence. I don't know if that's the author's real name, but if it is, it's absolutely brilliant. But then again, if it's not, it's certainly a sort of name I would choose. Ben Turtledove. So Harry Turtledove. So they're war books, but they're in the sci-fi and fantasy category. The reason for that is because it's an alternative universe where wars have gone different, where the world has been invaded by aliens, reptile type aliens apparently. Yeah, they look quite interesting. I don't know much about them, but I've looked into them a bit, and they do look a bit interesting. So I'm going to sell these two together from now. On the Stufforium eBay shop, but I may maybe read them in the future. Yeah, so a nice little collection. I really do recommend checking out your libraries. If you're not aware, libraries do, I think most libraries at some point will sell off their books. Some more reasonable than others. They won't all be 10p, but it's definitely worth having a look because you can get some really good finds.